Did you know somebody got laid off today and somebody else lost their home? Somebody is homeless. Somebody got a call that their son or daughter is in jail, and worse yet, a prison sentence. Somebody got a call as well that or just came back from the doctor's office and got a diagnosis that they had an incurable disease. Or maybe a phone call that a family member had an incurable disease. The list goes on and on and on and on. But the question remains, someone needs your encouragement today, and have you given it? Today, I want to talk about 4 reasons why encouragement has so much value. 3 things that God Himself has said about encouragement. But the most important of all, and that's why you got to stay to the end, is how can we practically, in this day where things are topsy-turvy, wars going on, famine going on, hurricanes and disasters and people just struggling, how can we encourage each other practically? I think it's a relevant question. I hope you hold on and come and stay with me for a moment so that we can talk about it. But God says, try me. Try me. It's free and it's forever. And He'll never leave you. He'll never forsake you. He'll always be with you through the good and through My name is Dewana Carl, and I am the host of A Weary She Encourages. A Weary She Encourages has this platform simply to encourage people like myself who struggle with mental well-being and happen to be a born-again Christian. Look, all of us need encouragement. I'm in the process, let me tell you a quick little story. I'm in the process of trying to lose a little weight, okay? All right. And this has been a long time coming. I've tried and I stopped and I tried and I stopped. But I've gotten to an age in my life where I feel like I got to do something about this weight, okay? And I want to be healthier because as I get older, I realize that we need to stay healthy, and we don't have a whole lot we live in a rural area, and we need all the help that we need all the strength rather that we can get. So I joined the gym. Now this time I'm using my gym membership, okay? I'm using my gym membership. And this particular day I went in and we were working on the upper body. Now, mind you, I am not the strongest chick in the world. And I looked around and I saw all those guys and girls lifting those weights like it wasn't nothing. But this sister right here was struggling. I wasn't struggling. The truth is, I was struggling, okay? I was struggling. That's beyond struggling, okay? And my trainer saw me. And he didn't just encourage me with his words. He joined me and just encouraged me to keep on going and never to stop. You know, when you think about Jeannie and she's telling, you remember that scene in Forrest Gump where you hear Jeannie say,
Run,
"Run,
Forrest,
Forrest,
run!
run." And you
Run,
see the involvement
Forrest!
and then the how it encouraged him and how it built him up, and how as he was running, he just kept, like he said, "I was running and running and running." And then finally, he ran so far that those his braces fell off. Amazing, the things that encouragement can do. The question is, though, are you somebody's Genie? Are you somebody that's boosting somebody else along? I want to read a scripture to you real quick, and it's found in Exodus chapter 17, verse 12 through 14. And I'm reading out of the New Living Translation. And it says, Moses commanded Joshua, choose some men to go out and fight the army of Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand at the top of the hill, holding the staff of God in my hand. So Joshua did what Moses had commanded and fought the army of Amalek. Meanwhile, Moses, Aaron, and Hur climbed to the top of the nearby hill. As long as Moses held up the staff in his hand, the Israelites had the advantage. But whenever he dropped his hand, the Amalekites gained the advantage. Moses' arms soon became so tired he could no longer hold them up. So Aaron and Hur found a stone for him to sit on, and they stood on each side of Moses, holding up his hands, so his hands held steady until sunset. As a result, Joshua overwhelmed the army of Amalek in battle. There are 4 reasons. And remember, I promised that I would share this. There are 4 reasons that we can find about encouragement right here in this passage. Number 1 is that we have all, like Moses, stood on that proverbial hill or hard place. You know, we have all went through something that was extraordinarily difficult. And number 2, as we stood on the hill, like how Aaron and Hur went along with Moses, we couldn't do it alone. And number 3, I would bet we have all, as Moses said, he determined in his mind that he was going to hold his arms up. He got this. We're going to fight this battle. We're going to stand up against this thing that stands before us. But we all get discouraged. We all feel beaten down. We all feel like we just can't take it anymore. And that leads me to number 4, encouragement. We need somebody to come alongside of us and help us through this thing. You see, encouragement is the act of giving support, confidence, and hope to someone in the form of words and action. Support, confidence, and hope. There are 3 things, as I shared, that God talks about in the Bible. If you would, and I can read it to you, or I would like for you to read along with me. Go to Romans chapter 15, verse 2. It says this: we should help others do what is right and build them up in the Lord. If you go down a little further, right there, this whole Bible, by the way, is about encouragement. But guess what? Go down to verse 5. It says, may God, who gives this patience and encouragement, help you live in complete harmony with each other, as is fitting for the followers of Jesus Christ. If we go further down into 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11, it says this: so encourage each other and build each other up, just as you are already doing. You see, God already knows that this life is, well, let's just be honest. This life is difficult. I want to share one scripture as well in chapter Mark chapter 12. Mark chapter 12, verse 28 through 31. And it may sound like it's off the subject, but I want you to listen to this. What God told us. One of the teachers of the religious law was standing there listening to the debate. He realized that Jesus had answered well, so he asked, "Of all the commandments, which is most important?" Jesus replied, "The most important commandment is this: Listen, O Israel, the Lord our God is the one and only Lord. And you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all of your strength. The second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself. No other commandment is greater than these." When we talk about encouragement, number one, it begins with loving the Lord and being mindful of developing a relationship with Him and loving Him with all of our heart. And we love Him with all of our heart by obeying Him, obeying what it is that He has said in His word. And one of those things, as I've already shared, is the power. He talks about encouragement. Then he goes on and says that the second is to love ourselves as we love others. Well, when we talk about encouragement, we can't love others as we love ourselves. We can't love others if first we haven't even learned how to love ourselves. How about if we have not learned how to encourage ourselves? What are you doing to encourage yourself? How are you talking to yourself? How do you encourage yourself when you go through those difficult days? You know, when I was in the gym, I could have been like, I can never do this. This is hard. Well, to be truthful, I was. But I'm learning that I have to encourage myself. I have to tell myself, you know what, Dwana? You can do this. And one day, when you keep on coming, you're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Yeah, that's how we encourage each other. Ourselves. We have to learn how to talk to ourselves. Sometimes you got to stand in that mirror and you got to say, you know what? I am beautiful. I may feel like I'm not beautiful, but I am beautiful. I am capable. I am smart. This exercise that I'm doing is going to pay off. That's the thing that we have to learn to do. And we can't tell ourselves, well, you're stupid, you'll never get it. You know, when we're frustrated, how we typically fall into this place and we start saying, oh, you'll never do it, you'll never be able. No, we have to learn to encourage ourselves so that we can fight this good fight that stands before us. And then we can learn how to do it for somebody else. Because the times that we're living in is difficult. It is difficult. And when we learn how to encourage one another, then it will go a long ways. It will go a long ways. So that leads me into the next thing. How do we practically do this for somebody else? How do we practically do it? Well, the first thing is, you know, I wanted to share something that I've read in a book, and I think it's very popular. And if you haven't went out, go out and buy a copy. It's a copy by Gary Chapman, and he talks about the 5 love languages. And when you think about it, love is, you know, love is kind, love is patient, but you know, also as we learn how to exercise these things, and we learn how to exercise the 5 love languages, it will help us to exercise this life, I would call it, I would even go so far as to say a life of encouragement. You know, when we give away what we need, it comes back. It comes back. So the five love languages, number one is words of affirmation. The next one is quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. When we think about these languages that sound like again, it sounds like encouragement. The thing about it is, when we're examining each other and we're trying to figure out how do we encourage one another, we have to examine each other. And look, we could all be speaking the same language and we express it all so differently because we're all individuals. And so what makes you get going a little bit better sometimes is expressing your own individual language, your own individual emotional language. And that may come out in words of, you may get built up by words of affirmation. Like myself, I love hearing positive words. Like when my husband tells me, "You're beautiful, you look good today." It does so much for me. You're pretty, you're smart. That does so much for me. Some people like quality time, as we said before, and receiving gifts and acts of service. Well, when we think about encouragement for somebody, especially as it relates to affirmations, like, I appreciate you. I appreciate you just for starting to joining me today on this video, and you watching it, and I hope it's encouraging you. And if it's encouraging you, and I hope that it is, by faith, I trust that it is, it encourages me as well. The other thing, you can let everyone if you think something is good about somebody, when it comes up within you, say it with your mouth. I'm proud of you. You're doing a great job. We all need encouragement. You inspire me. When it comes to quality time, sitting with that loved one. I have a son that he's incarcerated right now. And I believe that every time I come and spend time with him, it encourages him. Sometimes I'm sure, I don't know what it's like to be incarcerated, and I don't judge him. I believe that all of us have made our fair share of mistakes. Some of us bigger than others, but we have all made mistakes. And so that if we want to bring people back, we want them to be a better version of themselves, then we have to encourage them. And so my way of doing that is writing him, visiting him, calling him. Sometimes I give him a little bit of something on his book so that he can get something other than what the prison food. I'm telling you, encouragement goes a long way. Going to see an elderly person, a senior person, excuse me for saying it, a senior in a nursing home. I'm telling you, I went to CVS the other day and I was picking up some vitamins, and one of the young men, we were just chatting it up, and he was telling me how sometimes seniors will come in there and talk to him just because they don't have anyone to talk to. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. How about taking your children, if you are a mother of small children, not just take them to the park, play with them as well. They need your encouragement. They need to hear, "Baby, you are doing a great job. Wow, look at you. You are amazing." I'm telling you, encouragement does a lot of things. And think about that person that might need you, that you can cook a meal for, or clean their home, or do laundry for them, or send a small note of encouragement. I'm telling you, it goes a long way, especially even on top of that physical touch. Now, of course, in the workplace, we want to be careful about that. We don't want to go around touching folks, but a handshake, a fist bump, hey, it goes a long way, because just saying that you see me, you see me. Look, if you got any ideas about how you're encouraging someone today, hey, comment below. Let me know how you're going to encourage somebody. I just hope that this has stirred you up and reminded you the value of encouraging someone. These are just a few amongst many. Some of us need to know what it practically looks like. And I was just one of those people that didn't know what I was one. I encouraged people, but I was always thinking, how can I do it better? How can I go out and do more and more and more? There's a book that I'm reading now, or I plan to read, and I want to invite you to read it as well. It's called 52 Simple Ways to Encourage Others. And I think it's amazing. I think the author name, it comes from Richard and Williams. I'm looking to see who the author is, by C.E. Rollins. And it's a Thomas Nelson publisher, and it's 52 ways that we can encourage one another. And I think it's amazing. And we need to find ways of encourage. It's a practical way of doing that. You know, this podcast was formed simply because I felt a call by God so strong that I needed to encourage other people. And so this is my way of doing it. And I hope that you join me in your everyday life as well. And that, I even coined a term called forever or wearying, meaning that, you know what, forever I will be an encourager. And I hope that you will be one as well. So would you join me? Would you look around in your home, encouraging your husband, encouraging your wife, encouraging your children, encouraging your family, encouraging your friends, encouraging your employers, encouraging those who you walk through life in. Encouragement, I tell you, will go a long ways. You just don't know what it will do for people in this day and time when things are it just seems like, if you just look at the news, I tell you, it's discouraging. But look, in our everyday lives, in the black and white of life, would you be an encourager? Would you join this movement of encourager? I hope you will. And like I said, I hope that you can continue to be and desire to be forever an unwearying encourager. Thanks. Thanks for joining us. I hope that you like, comment, and subscribe, and join us again for the next segment. Have a blessed day.